Welcome to another week of the Friday Five. I'm Dan. I'm going to answer five popular questions we've had from our clients over the past week. As I say, I don't know much about but health and fitness I do know about. So let's get into the first question for this week. So how do I get rid of the man boob sag? Wow, that's a big one to start with. So this question comes on behalf of a client's husband. And so I think from memory, this person is in their late 50s or 60s. Man boob sag. Look, inevitably, guys, as we age, things head south a little bit, and that's inevitable. But there are things you can do to help prevent how much kind of sag you get, I suppose, and how much muscle tone you keep. And so resistance training is the best thing you can do. And by resistance training, it doesn't have to mean lifting heavy weights, but it's certainly doing body weight exercise or lifting free weights or doing machines and stuff like that at the gym's fine too. A couple of exercises you can do to try target that area of your chest. So one great chest exercise would be push-ups. Again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to focus on adding some muscle tone to the area that is affected for you, which is the man boob sag. So doing some push-up work is great. You can do incline push-ups or decline style push-ups. You can mix them up a little bit. Another one would be, say, something called like a floor press. So a floor press would involve getting two, say, weights lying on a floor, unless you've got access to like a bench, lying on a floor and doing like a press style movement over the top of your chest. What to say, 3 sets of 10, do this a couple of times a week to get started, and try throw a couple of push-ups in every day when you get up out of bed in the morning. Things like that where you can actually start targeting those areas would be what I'd recommend. But yeah, other than that, we all get older, unfortunately. Hopefully those help. All right, question 2. Why am I getting shin splints? Okay, so shin splints, for those who've ever had them, are painful. It's like a pain that runs down the front of your shin or your tibia. And this can be for a number of reasons. So from my experience and working with people, some of the things that can cause shin splints are commonly like tight calf muscles, also weak glutes, in particular what we call the weak glute medius, which is the muscle on the outside of the glute. So what can happen is that due to things like, say, you're running or you don't have great biomechanics with these exercises, what can happen is that the weak glute medius can send kind of more of a pressure down through the thigh into the knee, and then therefore the knee kind of internally rotates a little bit more, and that's what gives the referred pain into the shin. So sometimes it's not always the actual shin that's causing the problem. Often it's from other areas. So tight calves, weak glutes. Sometimes it's generally an overuse thing. So it might be repetitive strain from running or doing high impact movements, jumping, things like that. So look, the best thing you need to do is you need to find the underlying problem of why you have the shin splints. That's the first thing. Footwear can be a big thing here too. So if you've got the wrong footwear, let's say you have the wrong shoe. So for instance, you may pronate more than what you should be doing, and this can cause pain up through the shins and hips and all different problems. So I would suggest seeing a physiotherapist to get this looked at if you're not already. But in the meantime, you can do things like resting off the high impact stuff is definitely advised. Icing can definitely help, and foam rolling your calves out and things like that, and see if that helps as well. But yeah, definitely get into a physio so they can try and figure out what's the actual cause of your shin splints. Go from there. All right, number 3, yogurts and cereal can be tough to choose with all the hidden sugars. Maybe some recommendations with that. And some healthy kind of juices and milks too. All right, cool. So look, when it comes to, this is something I've spoken multiple times with one of the leading dietitians in Newcastle about. Look, when it comes to yogurts and cereals and stuff, yes, 95% of these things are high in sugar. And they do that because, going off the low-fat craze, and they pump full of sugar to help, I guess, replenish some flavour. So, in my opinion, this is my opinion only, we try and recommend that people go for cereals that are less than 10 grams of sugar per 100 grams, and same with yogurts, so less than 10 grams of sugar per 100 grams. So these are kind of more your low sugar options, low GI options even. So some of the best yogurts are things like Form A. You've got Greek yogurt, obviously. You've got, I think Jalen will do a good one as well. And in terms of cereals, things like Wheat Bix, Natural Oats, even cornflakes. I think Carmen's do like a fruit-free muesli. There's some other ones as well. But it's all about getting to know the label that you're eating. So when you roll over the back of the packet and you look at the food nutrition label, look at how much sugar is per 100 grams and try find something with 10 grams or less. Then, of course, it's up to you to make sure that you don't overindulge in it, right? Because if you have half a tub of yogurt in a serve, well, then yes, you're going to get more than 10 grams of sugar. So making sure that your portion sizes are actually what they're supposed to be, generally speaking, as well. So hope that helps. In terms of juices, by the way, so fruit juices. Again, this is a big one. So spoke recently about this with a dietitian and a couple of nutritionists. And when you look at juices, you've got freshly squeezed juices, and then you've got your room temperature juices. So if you think about it, you go into Woolworths or Coles or your supermarket, and you've got down the aisle, you've got all your room temperature juices, right? And these juices are generally speaking processed juices. So they've got high in sugar, and they've got vitamins and minerals added to them, but generally they don't have things like the pulps and those types of things, which are the fiber. And so generally a lot of them are low in fiber, which helps to negate, when you have something that's higher in fiber, like a piece of fruit, it helps to negate the impact that sugar has on your blood sugar levels and your pancreas. So your best thing is to go for the freshly squeezed versions in those aisles. So something in the cold refrigerated part where you've got, say, freshly squeezed orange juice, and it comes with all the pulp and all that stuff, which helps add the fiber to what you're having. But of course, a piece of fruit is probably better than having a fruit juice, to be honest. So other than that, a lot of those kind of, those fruit juices and apple juice and those types of things aren't great generally for you. All right, cool. So number 4, how do I stay motivated when shit hits the fan? Oh, wow. All right, cool. I think we've all been there before, where we lack a bit of motivation, or things get tough, or life gets in the way, and the last thing you want to do is go exercise or whatever. You can't be bothered, right? I get it. I certainly empathise. I know this person. We've got a couple of clients at the moment doing it tough. Look, we've had personal experiences as well. Like, it's not always easy, but here's what I know, and that is that regardless of what things are going on in your life, we've had people have to deal with deaths, family deaths of loved ones, messy divorces, breakups, financial things, injuries that have impacted them from their training, and all these things come up in life. But at the end of the day, you've got to still ask yourself the question, do you want to look after yourself and your health? Because these things are always going to happen, and you've got to have that ability to kind of, right, I need to get on with it, and I need to be able to continue to look after myself within these things. Because too often what happens is people, unfortunately, they suffer first. So they put others first, or things happen, and then you put yourself last, and then your health is the thing that suffers and declines as a result. You emotionally eat, all these things can happen, and you just kind of start self-sabotaging. So look, it's about making sure that you get back to what works for you. Sometimes you just need to kind of have a crappy week or 2 weeks even, just to kind of reset and get back into it. But the warning is that the longer you leave it and you don't exercise, the harder it is to get back into it. So sooner or later, you've just got to play a little game of suck it up, and you've got to get back into it. You've got to take personal responsibility for your own health, man, because no one else is going to do it for you. And that's even with everything else going on in your life. You've still got to find some time to continue to look after yourself. It's really important. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to become the person that always kind of has a life thing happen, a life event, and then you fall back. And then you go, well, then a life event, then you fall back. And then you want to be able to be emotionally stable enough to be able to get through those moments in your life and still take care of yourself. That's so important as well. All right, good. Last question. Here we go. So what's the best protein powder? All right, cool. Firstly, protein powder is like the stuff you get at like a supplement shop. You can get them at big health food chains as well, or your supermarkets as well. And so basically what it is it's a supplement. And so it's used to generally, or it's most commonly used after a workout. Or some people use them as like meal replacements and stuff like that. We personally don't recommend you should do that, but if you're doing that, that's fine. But usually as a kind of a supplement, like a snack or a post-workout thing. The advantage of doing that is, first of all, why is protein beneficial for you? So let's imagine you've just done a good workout and lots of things are happening in your body. We call it your anabolic window. So You've just revved up your metabolism, your heart rate, nutrients, all these things. You're able to absorb a lot easier then for the next couple of hours after your workout. So having a protein shake is just something really quick and easy that you can just throw down. And what that does is once the protein and things hit your system, your muscles start to repair better. It speeds up your recovery rate as well. So what's the best one though? Look, there are a number of different proteins out there. There's whey protein's probably the most commonly known. Then you've got other ones like soy protein, pea protein, hemp protein. There's all different types of protein. Look, I'm not too worried in terms of what kind of protein you get. Get what works best for you and what you like the taste of. But I would suggest that you get something that's basically, this person I know wants weight loss, so a whey protein isolate would be my kind of recommendation personally, so a WPI. And you want something that is just high in protein, low carbohydrate, so you're not getting extra calories that you don't need. And also something that has BCAAs could be good as well, so branched chain amino acids. And that can help again with improving your recovery rate and fatigue and things like that as well. So whey protein isolate, they're great. Go to somewhere like, well, we have a partnership with the Sup Stop at Jesmond, where you'll receive 10% off. So if you ever want a flyer from us, we can give you that. But I hope that helps as well. So that has been the Friday 5. Thanks very much for popping your questions through, guys. Look forward to answering next week's questions, and have a great weekend. Adios.